Thank you for your nice introduction. To inform, Aditi was one of my students. I was teaching her criminology when she was doing for masters in forensic. So I'm happy that I can see my student has evolved as HOD of a department. Thank you. So I sincerely take this opportunity to thank the organizers, especially the principal Vilas Chavan for inviting me, and Dr. Ranjit Singh for recommending me for this program. And I'm glad to see a lot of young minds here, and these are the people who are going to take the digital forensics and cyber criminology to the next level, because we are now in a different era. This era is marked for digital natives like you people, and we are all digital immigrants. We only have come after internet was arrived. You are all there, but we were only learning now. So you have a big task ahead, and under the leadership of your teachers, you will be evolving in a better places than we were placed earlier. And today I have a specific task to give an orientation on the key theme, that is the new age forensics, especially on digital forensics. So can I see the first slide? Yeah. So when you see the spaces, earlier there were only 3 spaces: land, air, and water. And then the outer space, of course, is there. But the new space which has come is the cyberspace. And that happened through a novel by Gibson, in a novel called Neuromancer. But somewhere in 1980s, as a kind of a imagination or a fiction, where he mentioned there is a space in between the telecommunication networks, and that way you will see a space which is unreal, but now it has become a reality over a past several years of time. In the past 40 years, there is a space which is called as a cyberspace, and a lot of potential. So that is the key thing in cyberspace compared to the physical space. In physical space, limitations are many in terms of age, in terms of gender, in terms of caste, in terms of religion, in terms of region, everything. But cyberspace opens up a space where equality, freedom is guaranteed. And that is a space that which is going to be the next space which will bring people together, but it also comes with some kind of a deficit. While cyberspace increases the people's connectivity, it reduces the connectivity between people who are very near to us. So we are able to connect with far people, but we are not able to connect with our own people. So nowadays in each house, everybody has a cell phone. You can find that father is having, mother is having, children are having, and everybody is speaking with somebody other than their parents, their children, and that makes them little bit outside the framework, and they are no more closer than the previous times. And that is a little bit danger, of course. So that has its positivity and negativity. And also the key element of anonymity. Anonymity is something that which we want, which gives us privacy, because we do not want to expose everything to others. And that cyberspace gives that. But that's the anonymity also creates a space where you will see that offenders utilize that and misuse that. And new forms of crime have emerged over the period of 20 years, which was not there earlier. And then some people group it with conventional things, like crime with cyber crimes, which we will discuss later. So I would request for the next slide. So before going into the key program, key study, I am always interested in the history, and history is very fascinating. And history doesn't mean only the history of Rajas and others. Everything has a history. So today, when you are organizing this first national conference, it is a history after some days that you will remember that this institution has come with a new idea which is very new in this area. And you see that the internet growth potential is greater. The next slide, please. That it came somewhere 40, 50 years back by the Americans, and especially these were between only the defense people, and the transfer happened between some net called ARPANET. But later, professors were utilizing it from Harvard University and other Pennsylvania University to transfer themselves some emails. And slowly, slowly, the development happened that it came to public. So when Sir Tim Berners-Lee of the UK, he discovered something called as, invented something called as WWW, which is World Wide Web. When World Wide Web came into picture, then the access came to the public. Then after that, you will see that earlier times coding and other things make the screen very black, that we have to give some instructions. But now the technology have gone with a graphical user interface that people started using it, and now the technology has become a normality. That means that everybody knows how to use. So earlier times you'll see that there's needs of a knowledge. For example, using a Microsoft 95 or something older versions, you need certain knowledge. Now you can use MS Office without any big knowledge. The same goes with the internet and others. The next slide, please. And the biggest thing that arrived in 2000 after all you people are born is the social media. So what makes social media so different is that it is the tool in the hands of the people. Earlier, media means it is governed by certain group of people sitting at the top, right? So electronic media is something that which is given to you in the hands. Whereas the media earlier time is a print media, or any visual media is by rich people, is by upper class, is by others, which is not accessible to others. And also, whatever knowledge they are giving is what the knowledge we need to consume. So if somebody is writing in Hindu, we have to read, and then we think that is correct. Or somebody is writing in Times of India, or Indian Express, or any NDTV or others. But then, 2004, a person named Mark Zuckerberg came into picture, and he brought in something called Facebook. And Facebook is not new, where the earlier times Orkut social media software was there, and people were using that. But not that powerful, but Facebook may become more powerful because it gives the power to the hands of normal people. So there was a change in the media. The media is that people owned media and the content. But in social media, they only owned the media, but not the content. So in Facebook, what we are doing, we are the content provider. We are providing content, whereas Mark Zuckerberg is providing only a platform. That means this hall is provided by the university or the institute, but the content is provided by me. Now I am presenting to you. That is what Facebook is. Same thing that every millions of individuals now come into Facebook and make their comments, their everything. So slowly you will see that the thing moved, and Google came into picture in 98 itself. But then Google was not for social media, it was a search engine, but later it acquired many other platforms like YouTube and others. And you will see that these are very important moments in the online spaces, if you see the history. And what makes different from the previous era people before 2000 did not have the opportunity like what you are having at the present moment. So what they missed is that they missed the knowledge which they can give it to the world. So they had everything, but they didn't have a platform. So somebody wanted to dance, somebody wanted to paint, somebody wanted to write an article. They had the potential, but they don't have a platform. But you got the potential and also the platform, where nobody can stop a person to do certain things. Earlier, people will stop you on many accounts. So I would see that this is a revolution, and this revolution I would even equate Mark Zuckerberg and people like Sergey Brin, Larry Page, who founded Google, to the great Ambedkar or Periyar, other equal people who spoke on feminism and equality and freedom. So such a thing have arrived within the space which we are enjoying now. Next. So the internet users have bloomed like anything, and the data which you can see in January 2023, that the world population is 8 billion, and whereas the active internet users is at least 5 billion, and that is a very big amount of people. And you can see that 4.76 billion population are into social media. So, and mobile phone users are 5.44, so that is equal the same amount. And you can see this difference is also very large during this period compared to the 20 years back. So 20 years back, even if there is a cell phone, that is not a smart cell phone, but that is a cell phone which we can only call people, but that was very costly also at the time. Now the cost has become very less. You will see that the more number of people are using, the cost is very less. It's a very simple mathematics. So in the US, less number of people are there compared to the Indian population. That means the internet cost is very high in the US and other places. Whereas India, it's very cheaper. So you see, after Jio has announced free internet, and you are all getting at least 2 GB per day free also. And even if it is not free, it is very small amount of money. So that makes us a large user of internet compared to the many other countries. But what for we are using, what for others are using, that matters a big thing. Next. And you can see that the internet users go on with various things, like the percentage of the population is 64%, and average time spent is 6 hours. So the overall average is 5.5 hours anybody is using internet. So the morning you are waking up with the internet. And sleeping, you are going to sleep with the internet. So that means what? The internet is continuously governing your life. The internet is going to determine your decisions. Anything you want to know, that immediately you Google, or now you go to ChatGPT and ask, what is this? So it's becoming very, very simple thing. The knowledge is there. But the problem here is that internet is a vast ocean. So we should know what to take from internet. That is very, very important. Even though the users are there, but how the users are using, that we can see in the next slide. Next. And you can see that the internet adoption, at least an average of certain countries, you will see worldwide, 64.4 adoption is there. But the more countries are, of course, in the Western nations, but India is also coming into the average picture. Next. And the adoption you can see in this map, where the USA has a large number of adoption, 6.7%, and then there are other people who are using 6.8% in Southern America. Of course, Indian region, Southern Asia is combinedly 18.5% is very high. That means all the South Asian nations like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan and Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal also. So that makes a little bit very stronger. But again, the nations are not that powerful compared to the nations which are like USA or Singapore. Next. This is older data, of course. You can see that the internet speed was somewhere in 2014. The maximum speed was 60 Mbps. Can anyone say the current Mbps you are using in this institution? How many Mbps? 200 Mbps. Okay, so minimum 200 Mbps somebody is using. I'm using a service which is 300 Mbps, but I'm seeing that there are even higher Mbps, like 400 and 500. So what makes speed important? The speed is important because of the data retrieval. So earlier, when I was doing research somewhere in 90s, we have to wait 1 hour to get certain data. So it takes a longer time for a page to refresh even. So we have to patiently wait. But now within 2-3 seconds, even a full movie of 2 GB is getting downloaded, and that gives us a bigger power. So more speed, more power. Next. And you can see in this slide that how the daily time spent using the internet is there, where the worldwide average is 6, but Indians are using 5.5 at least for the sake of internet. The next one. And mostly what we are using. So the top is chat and messaging. So chat and messaging becomes a very, very key thing that you connect with people. So what is the difference that internet is providing? Because you can speak with anyone, right? You can chat with anyone, probably the people whom you have never met, you have never seen in your life also. So chat and messaging is topping in this list. And this is very important because this has killed many of the previous technology like telegrams, like even postal cards, like letters now have gone. So people don't write love letters to others. That has gone. So people only chat. So the technology has shrunken certain kind of things, and we have gone into just chatting with people, messaging people. And more social networking is happening. So what's the advantage of social networking online is that we people are 3 types: introverts, extroverts, and ambiverts. So introverts are very difficult people. In the real space, they are not able to open up with others. But in the online social networking, it is very easy that any introvert will open up to anyone. So that makes a bigger advantage for a set of people who are disadvantaged. And people who may have a complex that they are short, they are not good looking, they are fat, or anything that the society may impose a negative standard on them, they will find a solace in the internet to speak with anyone, because internet, nobody knows who you are, what is your height, what is your weight, how good are you looking, or how knowledgeable you are. But still it provides a space, and that's why social networking is topping in this. And of course, mapping and other location-based services. And you see, education is very less. That is only 23.8% people are doing. And next coming the food takeaway and delivery. Of course, Zomato and Swiggy have come in a big way now. People are ordering food. They are not cooking anymore in some spaces. And that also gives a little bit freedom, but also creates some other issues. You can see that. Next, what happens in 1 internet minute, and a lot of things are happening. So a lot of downloads, a lot of uploads, Wikipedia articles, everything is happening. And photo uploads are happening. People are uploading photos and things like that. But we are concerned as a criminologist or a forensic scientist, our concern is that how much crimes are happening within 1 minute and what's happening. So how much hacking is happening, how much botnets are being sent, and how much problem related to victims are happening. And you can see the data that 20 victims at least are there in 1 minute, but it becomes a very big data. Of course, this I won't say it's a new data, but still I would say 50 people at least are getting victimized in 1 minute. Next. So the next phase of my lecture would be on cyber crimes from machines to humans. So what way it is going from machines to humans is that when the internet started or the connectivity started, it is between 2 machines by 2 people. But now it is millions of computers and millions of people. So that's why the transformation have happened. Next. So the post-World War scenario in 1940s, the inventions of telephonic networks happened, but the cybercrime was not properly defined, that it is again a crime against machine or something that connects with the computer or computer-assisted crimes. Next. So the definitions changed over a period of time until 2000. You'll find that only the definition connects with technology and the knowledge to use technology and how people were attacking the machines. So these were some of the definitions. You can see that. So always the definition shows that the cybercrime carries a connotation of any crime done with cyber assistance only. So without the cyber assistant, if a crime is happening, that is a normal crime. But the crime which is happening with the cyber assistance becomes cybercrime. Next. But 2001, there is a big transition happened where you will find that the convention, it mentioned a different one where the Budapest Convention, it's called as Cybercrime Convention, something on emotions. So people can be attacked online by using improper words. So that affects people who are marginalized, genderized, and others, especially when some bad words are used or some abusive language is used, and that will hurt the emotion. If something is hurting on the emotion, what is the problem? It's only happening online. It is not the fact, because whatever happens online also has a physical impact on us. The same thing that, like how we visualize a movie when we go to a theater and see a movie, a kind of emotional movie between a mother and a son or a mother and daughter, then we also cry at times, right? Because it affects us. The same case goes with online also, that whatever we do in the social media and other places, that somebody is attacking us online also has an impact on us and take an emotional toll on that. And that gave a kind of a full stop for cybercrime, that everything means hacking. It's not everything is hacking, that even people can be attacked by online. Next. So you can see that from machine to machine, the direct human to real human attacks happen, where only earlier times the machine was attacked by certain people, and these people are called very knowledgeable nerds, technology, technocrats. But the people now who we are attacked by are not that knowledgeable, or ordinary people, very simple people, they are users only, they know only how to use the internet, but they are the people they are attacking us, and that becomes a big problem for people who wants to come into cyberspace, which is the space of equality. Next. So we developed a definition in 2011 where we have addressed this definition of cybercrime from a victimological perspective, including certain components where the offenses that are committed against individuals or groups of individuals with a criminal motive to intentionally harm the reputation of the victim or cause physical or mental harm to the victim directly or indirectly using modern telecommunication networks such as internet and chat and mobile phones. But slowly, I hope now this definition is nearly 10 to 12 years old, but new components can be added, like a new technology like machine learning and artificial intelligence is growing in a big way, so the definition needs to be expanded in this. So when it comes to cyber crimes against individuals, we make it two, that crime against persons and crime against property. The same goes with the real time also. There are cyber crimes against property and crimes against individuals. Next. In terms of interpersonal cybercrime, so we are now grouping into a group where the dissemination of viruses, botnets and others, hacking, cracking, and then cyber harassment is now having a multi-dimension, that not only bullying but also stalking. Stalking has become a crime after the Nirbhaya incident in India, and now the new laws like Bharatiya Shiksha also is now defining what is meant by stalking and others. The definition is broadened now, where people are pursued and they are attacked, and then with a illicit motive. So that makes it stalking. Bullying is something that which normally in our society is happening, that we abuse people, throw some banter on them, but that becomes serious, then it becomes a cyberbullying, especially when somebody attacks us online by stranging. And then cyber hate. Online you will find a lot of hate messages by some people against Muslims, Hindus or others based on their caste, religion, based on any other thing, and gender also. Cyber grooming is happening for sexual purposes. That is not only for children and women, but also men are also groomed nowadays, and money is extracted in this way. And child pornography is a big offense in the Western nations, of course in India also, but India comparatively is very less in this particular crime. And crimes in virtual environments. People recently would have read online that a girl was raped in a virtual environment, and there is no law in the UK to control that. Not only in the UK, in other places also. Still, a lot of debates are going that whether crimes in virtual environments like Second Life and others like Metaverse should be banned, so should be criminalized. So that is of discussion. Next is property crime, where you will find that identity-related crime. So identity-related crime is that somebody will steal our identity and get a loan from the bank. See, just imagine that you got a phone from the manager. Manager is telling, sir, you have to pay your interest for this month. Then you will wonder, sir, I have not taken a loan from you. No, your name is Ramesh. You have got a loan last month only, 10 lakh rupees, so please pay it. So these type of problems is very futuristic, but it is happening in some places, and people are not telling it openly because these people get a little bit shame for this. That identity-related fraud and theft is happening. Online scams, of course, a lot of scams are happening. And romance scams is happening. Recently, one BBC Studio video is available in Amazon. You can watch wedding.con. So wedding.con is providing, I was giving a research support for that particular series. Wedding.con is to showing how women are lured into the matrimonial sites and how they are extracted money. So a lot of women, especially women who are widowed, who are divorced, are a victim of lakhs and lakhs of rupees. So that is a big thing. You can see that how this is happening. And phishing, you know that some false website will come and take our information. That is there. And content theft is also there. Some are grouped as victimless crime because the victim himself or herself contribute to the crime, especially sexting, revenge porn, sextortion. So sexting, you know, sending our body parts to people knowingly or unknowingly to others. That is a sexting, combination of sex and texting. And sextortion is something that happens after somebody owns our images and they will try to extract money. If you don't give the money, we will share the picture to others. And of course, online gambling is a big thing now. Many of the states are trying to stop this online gambling. But still problem is there. Some people are committing suicide because they are losing money also. Next. So in this regard, I find that in 2007, the cyber security and cyber forensics developed a little bit. But I find that there is no study to understand cyber crimes from a social science perspective. Next. So I developed a new discipline, which I'll come to. So you can see that cyber crime, people are not grouping into a new crime. So it is not a new crime because some people are thinking it's old wine in new bottles, old wine in bottles of varying shape, new wine in no bottles. Next. But I always believe that cyber crime is unique. Why it is unique? Because it is not like the conventional crime. Cybercrime is so unique because it is transnational with no boundaries and no coordinates or latitude or longitude. So in a real-time crime, we can fix a lat long. Suppose a crime is happening in this hall, we can fix the latitude, longitude and locate it and identify it. But whereas when a crime is happening online, we will not know which place it is coming from because even the IP address can be spoofed. So nobody can understand where the crime happened, which place and which time also. And it is an automated crime where several persons can be attacked, like a machine gun spilling 50, 60 bullets at a time. So it can also attack many people, which is normally not possible in real space. And earlier, it requires knowledge, but now it requires only the values, which are ideas and not physical property. So you see, you are all digital forensic students, you know 0, 1 and 1 only, everything is there in the binary form. Right? So when you have money in the bank, you may have 1 crore rupees, but everything is in binary only. But only when you put your ATM card, then take the money, it becomes real money in your hand that you have a paper money with you. Otherwise, every money is only binary only. So what has become a kind of a value, now only you can retrieve as a physical property after certain techniques you can use offline. So cyber criminology is a discipline which I found in 2007, and I made it a definition, the study of causation of crimes online and its impact in the physical space. So that is the definition. And I launched a journal also to propagate this particular discipline, and it is now more than 15 years of existence. Next. And it's a combination of many disciplines. Cyber criminology is not one discipline, that it will have a combination of criminology, victimology, sociology, and of course internet sciences also is a part of that. So 2 reasons. One, it should not be merged with cyber forensics and also cyber security. These are the 2 reasons which I have bought. And now cyber criminology is a discipline which is offered in many of the American universities in the syllabus, and it is growing now. And I wish Aditya College also will take up a course on cyber criminology, so that can be appended with your existing cyber science programs. Next. So I developed a theory also, and this theory is called space transition theory. Probably people can go to the internet and check with it, where the idea is very simple. When you move from one space to another, you are not the same person. That is the simple idea. So you can connect with any idea. Like suppose you are sitting here as a person, you are a different person, but when you go to your house, you are a different person. The same idea is the same, where you can be a different person when you are online and you are not the same person. So there you can do the conforming and non-conforming also. Next. So they have 7 postulates, but I'm not going to explain everything in detail of want of time. I'll be going to the crux. So first postulate, persons with repressed criminal behavior have a propensity to commit crime in cyberspace, which otherwise they would not commit in physical, due to their status and position. So people may have a repressed criminal behavior because every one of us are violators of some rules and norms. So you see, in your childhood, always we tend to violate norms and rules of the parents. But our parents controlled us, shaped us, so that we are now a conforming person. If they allowed us, we would have become an offender, or a criminal. So that's the very nature, because human nature is to violate norms and rules. So we do not want to be arrested. We do not want to be under the control of somebody or some rules. So that way, cyberspace gives us an opportunity to unleash our hidden behavior. Next. So this work is cited more than 200 times now, and it is considered as a popular theory, but it has to grow a long way. I am waiting for that. So maybe in another 20 years, this will become a popular theory. Next. So in terms of theory, I always think that it should become practical. So how it becomes practical, I started a online counseling center called as Center for Cyber Victim Counseling in 2009. It is available, you can visit cybervictims.org, and we have counseled more than 5,000 people in the past 10 to 12 years who were victims of cybercrime. So that is one of our great achievement, and any person who are victims of cybercrime can come to our website, log in, just submit your query anonymously, and they will get response, and they will get psychological support, they will get police support, they will get also technological support. So one more theory that happened is irrational coping theory. So whenever any person becomes a victim of cybercrime, they retaliate in a wrong way. So they also try to hack the email of others. They also try to attack the people on that. So victim turned offender is happening, and that is one of the dangers of the internet, that innocent people like us one day may become offender because we want to take revenge against some people, and that will make us an offender. That is the irrational coping theory. Next. So cyber victimology is one area. Later it came in 2015. I made it as a presentation in the Perth conference, World Society Victimology Conference. Next. So cyber victimology is the study of forms of online victimization, its impact on victims, responses, society and systems. That's the thing. So it's also a growing discipline. Cyber victimology is also another growing discipline apart from cyber criminology. Okay. So we will come to the crux of this particular conference, that is the new age forensics. So why I started with cyber crime and then came to forensics is that because forensics comes after the crime is committed. Okay. So what and all the crimes are committed online or offline, then the forensic scientist comes into picture once everything is done. So that way, as a forensic scientist, you should know what crime is all about. Why crime is happening, where crime is happening. So that question, if you are addressing first, then you will be easily managing the next question, how and when it happened. So in terms of the background, you will find that digital era has brought a lot of opportunities for us. And one of the key things is the growth of digital forensics, a discipline which discusses on the collecting, analyzing, and preserving evidence for legal proceedings. You can get the key terms in this particular definition: collecting, analyzing, and preserving evidence. So evidence is a key part of forensic science, and that evidence is allowed in the Indian Evidence Act, Section 45, now the new law, the NIYAM, also the 45, which gives expert opinion. So you can submit the evidence to the courts, and that is the legal proceeding. So as a digital forensic scientist, you are a combination of three subjects. You are a combination of science, you are a combination of law, and you are a combination of the technology. So you should always think from a multidisciplinary perspective. If you think only from a science perspective, you may fail, because the law is not a science. Law is more a social science, works more with logic. Next. So you can see that the growth happened. Forensic science has grown in the past more than 200 years, but it has grown from ordinary fingerprinting level and now to DNA fingerprinting. So more technology have been adopted in the past years, and you can see that it is interconnected through digital means. Now more technology have come, but how to utilize it, that is matters a lot, like the usage of polygraph or usage of DNA fingerprinting. All these are technology based nowadays, but the more usage have happened because of the digital means that you are going to use technology which are earlier alien to people. Next. So where the source is happening, the source is the wealth of information is available within the technology. That means the usage of cell phone, the computers and others, those becomes your place for culling out data. So data becomes key. Earlier data was used, but data now has become the vast space for everything. And digital forensic is focusing on retrieving, analyzing and preserving electronic evidence. Next. So in terms of understanding digital forensics, you should know that it is not only for criminal cases, but also for civil cases it can be utilized. And that way it can use many aspects, not only one aspect, that is connecting with mobile phone, with everything. So that there are some separate sub-disciplines of the digital forensics which you are going to discuss in the coming 2 days. Next. So one is computer forensics. Of course, computer forensics, the word itself is very clear. that anything within the computer systems becomes the forensics, especially when you want to recover deleted data or the analysis of system logs when people logged into it, and examination of the internet browsing history. And even though Google gives an opportunity for incognito, still that can be recovered by other technology and other means. And mobile device forensics is another thing that using the mobile phones. So next, network forensics. I think people are aware of that. So in the networks, how you can cull out data. And then the last one is the cloud forensics. I think the four themes of this particular conference also connects with computer forensics, mobile forensics, and then network, and also cloud forensics. Next. So in terms of cybercrime investigation, digital forensics plays a very, very important role. And not only cybercrimes, but also fraud, child exploitation. Traditional offenses also can be investigated using digital forensics. Next. The cybercrime investigation, of course, that I made an intro on that. You can see that a lot of activities are happening online, and that makes digital forensics indispensable. And investigators must trace the digital footprint. So this is very important. In real life, we are making footprint that is erased. So when you are walking on a sand, it is gone. But in reality, in cyberspace, every 1 second we are making a digital footprint. It is available always there, anywhere we can retrieve. Next. Child exploitation cases is one case. So next. Counter-terrorism efforts. See, internet is used by the terrorists for two reasons. One is that they want to cull out people to join their organization. Other is that they want to send messages to each other. So these are all part of the digital forensics that you can work on. Next. Of course, traditional cases where some murder have happened. So the murderer's cell phone is in your hand. So you can cull out certain data, like when the geolocation data happened, what are the call records, what are the text messages, all these things you can do. Next. So a lot of challenges are evolving in digital forensics because of the growth of digital forensics. For the past 20 years, you will see that many new things have evolved. So a lot of challenges are going to happen. Next. So encryption and privacy concern. Recently, I think you saw that WhatsApp is coming with the end-to-end encryption. Everybody is talking about encryption and privacy. So this will create a problem because certain data will be stored in certain places only, in servers in California and others, but not in other places. Of course, there will be data. Data is not totally encrypted. That I won't agree that because in internet privacy is not there. People say privacy is there, but it is not there. So still, we need to connect with that giants, that is internet giants or others, to get some data from them. Next. So rapid technological advances. So within this 20 years itself, a lot of new softwares have come. And when you go to the workforce in another 20 years, again new technology will come, and all the old technology will become obsolete. So that means a digital forensic scientist like you should be continuously updating yourself. If you don't continuously update yourself, then you will be out of the field. So that is one thing, a challenge here. Next. In terms of volume and complexity of data, so we are talking about Internet of Things, big data and others, where the trillion amount of data, the data is very, very vast. So where to go, how to cull out, all this becomes a big problem now because you need to work on and get the work done because you cannot go on, do the work for a long time. So you need to look on the volume also. Next. So emerging technologies, we can see some emerging technologies. Next. Next, please. Next. No, previous slide. So machine learning and artificial intelligence is emerging in a very, very big way. That will be compelled to connect with digital forensics. So you have to be having the knowledge. You have to have the knowledge of the artificial intelligence. I think most of you people are utilizing ChatGPT and others. But now those are all normal softwares. Of course, there will be a lot of softwares which is connecting with artificial intelligence in terms of digital forensic and machine learning. You should be also learning that. So it will increase the speed, but also the human error also will be reduced because artificial intelligence algorithms can work a little bit better than the humans in some places. Next. So the next one will be blockchain analysis or cryptocurrencies emerging, and this will be also utilized by digital forensics. Next. Quantum computing. The quantum computing, people might have aware of quantum physics, that it gives a large volume. So quantum computing also will be very helpful in the digital forensics because of the kind of opportunity it is giving. Next. So the legal and ethical consideration has to be taken. I think the inaugural speaker, the Inspector General of Police also, he also touched upon this area where you have a responsibility, because when you are submitting the data to the courts, so you should be authentic. If you are not authentic, what will happen is that somebody will be victimized who may be an innocent person, and that will be a sin you have committed. So people are not thinking in that angle, that people will be sent to gallows, sent to even a death sentence will be there. So if you give a wrong data, if you manipulate data, that will be a big problem. Next. So the chain of custody should be maintained, so that I think you people are aware as a forensic scientist, everything should be clear. Next. So your digital evidence should be authenticated by proper people. So that should be expert, or that should be a kind of a software, or people collated, a team can be even giving that kind of authentication of the digital evidence. Next. So privacy is an important thing, but whether it is a fundamental right is a big issue. The Indian Constitution does not directly provide for privacy right, according to Article 21. So we have our right to privacy through the right to life and liberty. But it is not directly told in 1950 when the Constitution was promulgated. But later you see that privacy now has come as an important thing because of the what you call internet arrival. Next. So IT company have some kind of thing, they should oblige with the government. So if they are not obliging with the government, their license will be suspended also. So they have to be very clear that they have to disclose certain information when government is asking. At the same time, they cannot disclose their private data to some other people. Next. So you can see that according to section 72A of the Information Technology Act, any service provider that discloses personal information about a person without their consent or in violation of legally binding contract is subject for criminal prosecution. That means WhatsApp, Google or others, which we have signed an agreement, they should not give our data. But still, a lot of people are selling our data, that you can see that, so that only we are getting calls from banks and other spam calls also. Next. So the future directions, how it's going to go. Next. Next slide, please. Sir. Next slide. So quantum safe cryptography will emerge as a big thing, where the cryptography will be more stronger, more strengthened. Next. And increased collaboration with the private sector. Why increased collaboration with the private sector will happen is that because the basis of the cyberspace is standing on the private sector only. That's how Americans developed the internet, and they give it to the private sector. So when it was between two research organizations or the defense and then the professors, but later it went to the hands of the private sector. That's why Google was invented in 1988, but you see that it came as a PhD project of two research scholars in an university, Stanford University, and then it became a public venture. So that's why you can see that you need to collaborate with many agencies in the private sector. Next. And ethical considerations of artificial intelligence has to be followed upon, because artificial intelligence is like a thinking parrot. So that's the danger. In terms of parrot, when you feed a parrot to tell something in Telugu, it will speak back in Telugu. But artificial intelligence will not only speak Telugu, but it will speak Telugu better than you. That is a danger. Okay, so what you feed, you will get it back. So negative people feeding artificial intelligence will impact the output also. Next. So the final recommendations would be like more training and more education. So Aditya institutions can take up more tasks in terms of this particular topic. They can invite people from law enforcement, private sector, criminologists, forensic scientists, and make a group of people, collaborate with other people, and also update the legal framework. See, legal framework is also changing. The Information Technology Act came in 2000 and then later amended in 2008, is only speaking about e-commerce. It doesn't specifically speak about cybercrime except for 6 to 7 law sections. But in future, new laws may come that is specific for cybercrimes. Next. Next. So, previous one. Collaboration between sectors has to happen. So I told you, cybercrime is a multidisciplinary field. It is not a single field. Same digital forensic is a multidisciplinary field between law, criminology, forensic science, and internet sciences. And you have to invest more money in that. Cybercrime task forces, I think the inaugural speaker showed some of the task forces we are already having in India, CERT and others, but still more task forces can be created. And cyber security awareness, so tomorrow you people should go to many places to create awareness among the public, among the students, among the faculty, and among others. Collaboration, international collaboration. Why should I have international collaboration? Is because cybercrime is an international crime, and the cyberspace is, even though it's an international space, it's more an American space also. So we need to collate and collaborate with people in US. And establish digital forensic labs. I think you have all lab facility in this college. So more facilities should be developed on this. And research should be enhanced. Now, it's not like about research within the laboratory, but research outside the laboratory also should happen, because offenders are there moving online. So we need to connect with them. You need to connect with victims, and you are entrusted with certain responsibility. And interdisciplinary collaboration should be done. Forensic experts, criminologists, digital experts, sociologists, all these people should come together. Privacy concerns, already discussed earlier, and you have to update the forensic policies also. So in terms of the conclusion, I would say that a new era is developing where the combination of law, technology, and the social sciences is happening, where you are entrusted with the responsibility of integrate multiple knowledge. So you cannot stand with only one knowledge, and that's why you are going to address complex world of cybercrime and digital evidence. And as technology is evolving, challenges are going to evolve, that you are going to meet it. And the future is to have some investigation in terms of emerging technologies. You have to collaborate with sectors and navigate legal and ethical complexities, which I discussed earlier. And also the role of digital forensics only will become more crucial because of the fact that justice is the key thing. So in terms of any crime victimization, the ultimate part is justice. So justice will not be handed to anybody just like that. So justice means it can be either in a form of punishment or in form of some other thing, but that justice rendered by the judiciary, you as digital forensic scientist will have a great role to play. And with this, I thank the organizers once again, and thank you.